Albion have a throw 5 yards from the right corner flag.
Yeah, they had him trying a little one around the corner. They didn't come off. Had a second chance and then didn't come for a game. But that's what you need. It's quick play around the penalty box, Johnny.
Here comes Webster down the right side of the box. Lofts across towards the back post. Off goes March to collect it. He'll have a chance to cross. He goes in at the near post and that's headed behind for a corner. Whip ball in there by Solly March.
Johnny, this left back, I've only seen him for 7 minutes now. Messina, we need to get after him. He can't. He's not the quickest, not the most mobile of players. Once you get one-on-one with him, you need to attack him.
Just wonder whether Gross could push in a little bit and then Trossard could maybe go on the outside perhaps, but Albion have their first corner of the game in the 9th minute. Now we're into the 10th, still 0-0 here on BBC Sussex Sport. Swung in right-footed to the 6-yard area, down the header, it's enough, brilliant header, and it's Shane Duffy! What a return to the Amex for the Republic of Ireland international, out of the wilderness and into the goals. What a header! 1-0 the Seagulls.
No goalkeeper in the world would have saved that gun. That's gone in a stanchion, hasn't it? Between the post and the crossbar, right in that corner, Johnny. It's a wonderful header. What an header that is. No keeper stopping that.
How many times have we said it over the years that Duffy should score more goals? This time he connected with it perfectly.
And see the delight on his face, Johnny, can't you? The keeper's not moving. No keeper's going to save it. It's a great start, but now we have to build on this. We have to go now for the second, the third, whatever it takes to get these 3 points.
In off the underside of the crossbar, it bounced down, but there was no way that wasn't going in. Blows a kiss to the crowd. That's what it means to Shane Duffy. Well, we were just talking about him, weren't we? All the headlines last week about hitting rock bottom, pressing the reset button, and now he's on the score sheet.
Well, he just has to keep doing what he's doing, Johnny, doesn't he? He's been given a chance, Graham Potter, and he's taken it. He's taken it with both hands so far.
He's turned there, giving away a free kick. Anthony Taylor blows up. Turned there by Emmanuel Dennis.
He just needs to get his composure back.
The adrenaline will be pumping, won't it? So, yeah, someone just needs to just say to him, yeah, brilliant.
Concentration.
Absolutely. Manuel on it today. They lead by a goal to nil. Webster with the diagonal ball trying to find March. March gets there first. Up against Cathcart. Chance for him to really attack the byline. Fires in the shot in at the near post. Hook behind. Another corner for the Albion. And this is where they scored the opening goal from.
These two fullbacks, Cathcart is a centre half by trade, isn't he? Northern Irish international. He's out of his depth over there. And if you keep getting the ball like that, switching play and getting after him. Same on this right hand side, getting after these fullbacks, you're going to have a lot of joy.
Here comes the corner again. Gross and Duffy was the combination before. What will it be here? Will he change it up a little bit, or will he swing it into the box again? There's a little bit of pushing and shoving in front of the goalkeeper.
Well, that's what you don't want to do. Get the attention of the referee. If he does anything now, Webster, slightest little push, it's a free kick given.
And now the defender's going to grapple with him just to probably do exactly that. So Webster probably needs to come out of there. It is swung in by Gross, in at the near post, headed away. Webster was in there. March tries to nod it back, gets it to the edge of the box, but it's flicked clear, and Watford try and break. Dunk does well initially. Duffy brought down his man there, but they've managed to get it to the left-hand side here, Watford. Along the ground, down near side, Webster tries to hold up Saar, but in comes Bissouma to do the tidying up job.
And that's what Bissouma does very well, doesn't he?
He's like the cleaner.
He sees danger, just comes across, else's defenders out. If he wasn't going to get the ball there, he was going to get the man, wasn't he? One or the other.
Yes, the sliding tackle coming in from Yves Bissouma. A lot of people thought he might make way and head to another club. Of course, that's still a possibility, but it doesn't seem to be the case, as Albion try and clear it from down by the corner flag. It's shifted out of play for a throw.
I'm really honest, Sonny. If you want the two out of two, you'd rather let White go and the Bissouma. If I'm really honest.
Yeah, Bissouma's so key. I think Moises Caicedo is the natural successor in the future, but it's about the here and now at the moment, and Albion are leading by a goal to nil. But Watford on the attack, hook ball into the 6-yard area. Header goes clear, cleverly back to goal by the edge of the D. In goes Bissouma again to win it. Can he turn defence into attack? Finds Trossard on the right flank, over halfway. Only Mopé through the middle just at the moment. Belgian international, hovering, waiting. Gross goes on the outside, but it's clipped to the edge of the area and straight to Cleverly. Wrong option there by Leandro Trossard. It's Watford who come away with it. Powerful running down this near side by Ken Sema. He's made 40-50 yards there. Sliding tackle by Adam Webster. So it's back up on his feet though, Sema. Webster again. Up to Pascal Gross. Good work there by Adam Webster.
Brilliant play. Brilliant play from both players, didn't he?
Yeah, it was.
From Sema driving forward, carry the ball 50-60 yards. But what Webster didn't do, he didn't dive in.
Got a ball from Gross on the diagonal, finds McAllister over halfway, rolls it down the line to Mopé. He shows too much of it to the defender. I'll be a little bit more careful with the ball here, Albion. They're getting to good positions. Floated ball across towards March, headed away there by Cathcart.
We don't need to pass it like that, Johnny. You've got 2 against 1 on this side. He's tried a 50-60 yard pass across the field. Don't need to. He's 2 against 1 against his left back. Need to get after him. That's a couple of occasions now. Trossard's got on the ball in the wrong position.
Hasn't quite hit the ground running this afternoon, but
they keep wanting the ball though. That's the main thing.
Yeah, absolutely. The Seagulls leading by a goal to nil. 18 minutes gone to this first period. Shane Duffy's header came in off the underside of the crossbar in the 10th minute. Watford have just had the one chance. Our strike that went over the bar. They had to have a deflected shot as well, but certainly Albion, who've dominated both the possession and the chances so far.
You can see that they're playing one up front, and they're just playing around him. So they're bypassing him, getting in Lallana on the ball, getting Bissouma on the ball.
It's set up for Lallana. This finds Trossard. He goes to the middle to find McAllister. He swips it along the ground to March. March, left side of the area, drifts into the box, onto his right side, back onto his left, goes down, shout for a penalty, not given, but he's back up on his feet. March, away from goal now, turns, trying to take 2 defenders on, still going. Just ran out of a bit of space and steam there in the end. Solly March, sliding tackle by Bissouma, holds up Watford. Gross is going to win it back on the right. Can he take it wide? Waits, finds Bissouma again, who's just edging further forward now in the game. Into Mopé, back to goal, tries to flick it to Trossard. Comes blocked off the defender and cleverly will clear. In behind Lewis Dunk, out comes Sanchez, off his line quickly, under a bit of pressure, so he sticks it to the left touchline, and Dunk can't keep it in play.
First of all, it's good play from Sanchez.
Good starting position.
Yeah. And then they made a mess of it between Duncan and Sanchez.
Yes.
But going forward, Johnny, we're moving the ball very quickly there. I think Solly March again had the opportunity to get a shot away. Didn't take it on. Sometimes have a shot deflected into the goal. It could go for a corner.
Yeah. Bit of applause for the Albion substitute swarming up on this near side as Watford take the throw down the right flank. Over goes March, gets in his body into a good position and then sticks it out of play for another Watford throw, level with the Albion penalty area, over in that northeast corner of the American Express Community Stadium. 20 minutes gone, still 1-0 to the Albion. A little short throw back out to the wide right, good block there. Albion will have to defend for long periods as well in this game. They know that Watford are a lively side going forward. Here's Messina, pushes it to the left along the ground. Sema trying to take on Webster equal to it, slides in for the challenge out for a Watford throw.
Sema's got a challenge on his hand, Johnny, because Webster's no slouch. He matched him earlier for his pace, timed his tackle perfection, and didn't let Sema get on the ball and turn and run at him. Straight onto him.
Yeah, and I think, you know, he hasn't had much of a pre-season, Adam Webster, because obviously was ill and was unable to feature in a few of the games, so he's still getting up to speed, but he's had an excellent opening 20 minutes on the right-hand side of the Albion defence. Messina back to halfway. Kong signed from Udinese on a 5-year deal, the Nigerian, so they're putting their faith in him. Nice ball to Cleverly on that right side. They've got a little bit of space now here, Watford. Dennis trying to create some space in the middle, but it's chipped back to the edge of the box where Trossard will clear for the Albion. Trying to find Mope. Does well. Holds it up. Challenges for the second ball. Was that not a foul? No, says the referee. McAllister keeps him going. Mope has it now. Don't think he was offside. In the middle. Trossard foul from behind. Free kick 10 yards outside the box. I think Watford knew what was coming there and decided to bring the man down.
A couple of occasions there. Mope, the great bravery.
Yeah.
Went for the header there. Okay, he wasn't favourite for it. Just challenged. Got the ricochet. Went forward. But never gave up, did he? Neil Mope. And that's what you need, didn't you? Okay, he didn't win the first header, but he was brave enough to go in for it. Secondly, the Solly March driving forward. And what would you have? 4 players against 4 there? And you had to take one of the Tom Cleverly of Watford to bring Trossard down. That's what you need. When you break, you're breaking numbers, Johnny.
Midway point of the first half. So a free kick. And I think it could be Bissouma who's going to line one up. Well, maybe Lewis Dunk might trench one. It's relatively straight, just to the left of centre, so one of those little Ronaldo-style swerving balls. But Bissouma can hit one, we know that.
I think Lewis Dunk last week they had a chance into and left it to Solly March.
Yeah, interesting. Well, that's what's going on in training, isn't it?
Yes.
Who's feeling confident, who's hitting them well. We know that Bissouma's got this in his locker. He's already had one shot that sailed over the bar. What can he do with this one? As I say, it's just to the left of centre. It's a bit of an angle.
All I would say, Johnny, is
5 in the wall.
Work.
Yeah, absolutely. Test him early. Daniel Bachmann in the Watford goal. Here comes Bissouma, right-footed, drills it against the wall. And there's a free kick for Watford. I'm not quite sure someone's been penalised, maybe. That's taken the wind out of the Watford player who's down. He'll receive treatment and we'll have a short break in play.
I think it's Trossard. I don't know why he's given a free kick to Trossard. Against Trossard. They just run.
I can't see anything in the wall there, and it's a bit of a strange one, that. But I don't think he was actually on target, to be honest, even though it has taken out the Watford defender who is down. I can't quite see who that is because he's got medical staff around him. But some real positives in the opening 24 minutes. 0-1.
I think it's Etepu who's down.
Oh right, Peter Etepu.
But yeah, very positive, Johnny, especially in that final third. Just when we're breaking in numbers, aren't we? And that's good. And you can see were bypassing their midfield very, very quickly and very well. We're passing around them. But I can't see why this referee's giving a free kick.
No, I can't. I've seen the replay, and it is quite perplexing. But I just wonder whether this is a chance for for Watford to regroup a little bit, because it has really been mostly Albion in this opening 25 minutes.
Oh, definitely. You can see there the left back. He's gone over to Cathcart, and the other two centre halves, and they're having a chat and thinking, we're getting hammered here, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're all over the place. But they need some protection then, and cleverly. And Loser, Loser's only just come into the team, hasn't he?
Yeah, that's right. He signed. He's quite a big signing, actually, nearly £9 million from Nantes. But maybe still acclimatising a little bit as the long clearance is flicked back by Lewis Dunk back to Robert Sanchez in the Albion goal. So I wait as Lewis Dunk just rolls the ball back to Sanchez again. Well, they must try and keep the intensity going if they can, Warren, because they've started brightly, but they need to keep that going. It's only 1-0, and Watford will sense any kind of retreat from the Albion. Lewis Dunk in possession, playing on the left-hand side of the two centre-backs, reunited with Shane Duffy, the goal scorer. Webster, short pass to Lallana, back again, Webster. I say he's been very, very busy indeed, Adam Webster, in this game, in a very positive way as well. Lallana now squares it to Webster. Webster just waits. This time he chips it over the top. Trossard's gone on the run. Two in the middle. McAllister and Mope wait. Fired in across goal. And it's cleared. Only as far as Gross. He swings it in. Cross comes shot. Goes curling out of play for a goal kick. Nearly 27 minutes gone. It remains Albion 1, Watford 0.
What was talking about 6-7 minutes ago, Johnny, about this left back. He doesn't know if to go and mark Pascal Gross out wide or Trossard. And there he got caught in two minds. He went with Trossard. Wrong option. Pascal Gross went over the top. Or Trossard went over the top. And Webster's a good ball. Like you say, you need to gang up on this left back. He's not getting no protection from the left wing Seamer.
No, he doesn't want to do that. He wants to be attacking. He wants to be up there with Dennis causing problems, but he's not really had much of an opportunity. High ball towards Mope, trying to grapple with Etebo, who toe pokes it back to the keeper. Charged down by McAllister. Great work there by the Argentinian. Put pressure on Bachmann, who puts the ball out for an Albion throw.
It's good play, and that's what you need, didn't you? Both of them, Morpay was going to go, but McAllister went past him, throws the keeper down. The keeper kicks it straight out for a Brighton throw-in.
The voice of the former Seagull striker Warren Aspinall with us on BBC Sussex Sport, with the Seagulls, their noses in front early on in this game. Some big results. There's been a lot of goals actually already in the Premier League this season, Warren. Most of them against poor old Norwich, who started, I think they've conceded 8 in their opening 2 games, which is tough to take. But they do have a difficult start. Albion will be looking to try and press on with what on paper looks like some kind fixtures. Good run from Trossard on the right. Drags it back to Lallana. Square to Bissouma. At stretch. Gets hold of it. Brings Webster into play on the right. Midway through the Watford half. Outside of the right boot. To find Gross. Down by the right corner flag. Few empty blue seats in front of him. 2 defenders. Pulls it back for Webster. Nice careful ball into Bissouma. He gets the 1-2 with Trossard, but it's a little bit too cute. And it's shepherded out of play for a goal kick by the Watford's defence. Just wonder whether they're a little bit too many 1-2s.
A little too many 1-2s, but I keep mentioning this left back, Johnny. Masima. To be fair, if I was the lad, I'd be saying, look, to the left winger Seamer, come on, I need a bit of help here. Yeah. Let's sit in here for 5-10 minutes, because at the moment I'm getting doubled up. I'm getting 2 against 1. It's good play from Brighton.
He's got it forward now, and he's got the return. Adam Messina, left-footed, curls the ball towards Cleverley, goes beyond him over to the right side. Sarr, a short pass back to Cleverley, the captain. Now wide to the right. On that touchline is Cathcart. He sends in the cross near post. In there goes Duffy, shoulder to shoulder. Comes off his back and falls for Gross, who launches it long. Right up the pitch towards Mope, who allows it to bounce. Can he keep it in play? No. One needed to probably get that under control pretty quickly if he was going to get hold of it.
I think it's better up in their half, Johnny, and trying to play out from the back there. It was a dangerous ball from Kafka from the wide right area. The big Duffy gets his head on it, but then if he plays it long over the top, he's going to be up with more pay. It's one of them situations where see if he can get it up, get all of it, but it was over it. It's going for the throw-in, but it's not bad play. Clear your lines.
Yeah. Watford in possession then. They're trailing by a goal to nil. Launching it high this time. Meat and drink for Duffy to head clear. Finds Lallana. Drills it along the ground to Gross. First time square ball to Webster. Was asking a lot, but Webster did get there initially. Watford win it back, but he's back into position, Webster.
Just have to be careful, Johnny, with your passing. Especially Trossard. Give it away probably too many times for his own liking.
Yeah. So he's come a little bit more central, actually, as the game's gone on to maybe get closer to Neal Maupay. Sarr trying to take on March. March does really well to get his body in the way. Plays it back to Duncan Clears. Excellent defensive work by Solly March. Good attacking play there by Neal Maupay to find Trossard. Gross still inside his own half. Nothing on the right, so he slows it down.
He has to keep going forward though, Johnny. McAllister, Maupay, Trossard all in front of him. Supposed to go back, and that's when we break.
There is Lallana. He's going forward on the half-hour mark. Now Trossard back to Lallana, driving through the middle. Now he pulls it wide to the right. Players in the box here for Gross. Drills it in at pace. It falls from McAllister down by the byline, but he lets it roll out for a corner. Good awareness there from Alexis McAllister. Corner right side for the Seagulls.
What the three players in midfield are in, Trossard, McAllister and Lallana. They're playing against their two, and one of them's getting free all the time, aren't they? And the other one we're choosing the right pass. We're finding the free man. And the Adam Lallana, they're driving forward. Great interplay with his teammates.
Well, they scored from a corner on the other side, but it is going to be Gross to take it once more. This time on the right. Another opportunity here for the Seagulls from a set piece. He's got his right arm up in the air. Short step up, away from goal, and it's headed off the 6-yard box, unchallenged. Nodded back by Lallana. Two defenders nearly collide there, so it falls for Gross. He rolls it down the line to Trossard. Trossard under pressure. Two with him. Pulls it behind Gross. In there goes Lallana, and Watford managed to get it wide to the left side. And Trossard tried to swing at that one and missed it completely. It's gone out of play. He was lucky he didn't connect there, Leandro Trossard, to be honest.
But again, good pressure, Johnny. Second balls, it's a free header out from Watford. That shouldn't be happening.
Good diagonal ball to find Gross, headed away by Messina, but Albion have a throw. They need to keep this intensity and pressure up.
It's not bad that cross-field pass, Johnny, there from Solly March. It's gone out for a throw-in, haven't they? In the final third of Watford's half.
Because the defender, all he can do is head it wide, because there's no one, because Semer's not come back, so there's no one to head it to. So, well, the possession stats will probably be pretty interesting in terms of Albion's domination, but it's only 1-0 at the moment here on BBC Radio Sussex. Lofted ball over the top for Maupay to try and run in behind. High feet there from Neal Maupay, I think. Neal Maupay looking to score on in the first 2 games of the season, as is Alexis McAllister. The last player to do that for the Seagulls was Leonardo Ulloa back in 2013.
It's not a record you have around your neck, Johnny, is it? That's from a striker's point of view.
8 years. It's Maupay, I'm sure, will want to be heading up into double figures again this season after 8 last term and 10 the year before that.
But last week, Johnny, Maupay didn't have any chances really.
No, he didn't. No, the one he did, he took.
Yeah.
He hasn't really had many chances this afternoon either, but maybe more will come. Here's Gross to Trossard on the angle, running into a bit of traffic, but the defender stumbled and Trossard threw into the box. Still going, pulls it back. McAllister wide to Gross, but it's overhit and goes behind. I think sooner or later someone's got to pull the trigger, haven't they? Goal kick.
Sometimes you're overplaying, aren't you? And the situation, good run from Trossard, done very well. Knocked it, got in front of the centre back.
Showed good strength actually to shrug off the defender. Could see what McAllister was trying to do.
Yeah, but your touch has to be better around the box then, doesn't it? You can see what he wants to do. Just take a little bit of sting out of the pass.
Look at the technical players they've got on the pitch at the moment though, Warren. Trossard, Gross, McAllister, Lallana and Bissouma. I mean, some top quality in terms of technique there. Here's Lallana, just one of them. In his first start of the season. Under 2 changes made by Graham Potter. Here's Duffy.
I think the Watford manager will have to change his formation, or maybe personnel second half.
It certainly worked for the Albion last week up at Turf Moor.
At the moment the game played went far too easy.
Yeah. 35 minutes gone. Seagulls in possession. The lead by a goal to nil. Webster, short pass to Lallana. Caught there from behind, and Anthony Taylor just blowing up. Some of those have actually been allowed this season. It's interesting, obviously, seen a lot more decisions just waved play on really from referees this season, and this slight relaxation of the guidelines.
Yeah, I think the tackling now, you can back to a normal game now, John. You can tackle. For me, last season, the sliding tackle, he was deemed to be a foul.
Yeah. Here's Duffy. A little bit of a lull in the last couple of minutes, so maybe Albion can push on and try and get a second in this last 10 minutes of the first half. Add to that 1-goal lead. Cross goes Duffy, trying to hold up Dennis. Rolled inside, and there's Mopé. Good defending from him. Back inside his own half. Shields it well. Back heels it to Bissouma, who then rather elaborately gives it straight to a Watford player. That could be costly. Coming back there is Trossard though. Brilliant work there by the Belgian.
Right, he's just got
Bissouma out of trouble there, hasn't he?
Because it was 5 against 4 in Watford's favour. Just trying to be too clever.
A little bit over exuberance there from Bissouma, who's back on the ball now. Oh, it's an incredible talent. Still think he's best off in that sort of more defensive central midfielder role, but that's a poor ball from McAllister. Gross wraps that against Ken Sema, out for an Albion throw. They've certainly looked up for it from the word go, the Albion today, haven't they? And they've showed not just technical ability, but a lot of strength and power as well. They've been challenging hard, putting pressure on the man in possession.
Yeah, it's a good all-round performance so far, Johnny. 36 minutes gone. Just need that second goal, give a little bit of a comfort. Yes. Like you said before, all the stats, possession-wise, the possession doesn't win your games, does it?
It certainly doesn't. It's goals that win your games, and it's Shane Duffy who's provided the only goal of the game so far, which has been entertaining. Even a bit of blue sky appearing above.
Well, what I would say, Johnny, in the areas of the pitches we've got in, we haven't tested their goalkeeper once yet.
Yeah, not enough, really.
He's not had a shot to save.
No, he hasn't. And Bachmann's under a little bit of pressure because Ben Foster obviously was on the bench. As I say, maybe they could have done more with these opportunities and the possession that they've had. Here's Trossard, nice threaded ball through to Mopé. Mopé onto McAllister, but covering there is Messina.
Sloppy pass, isn't it? In the final third, in the 18-yard box there, Mopé, a good run from McAllister, but he has to hit it into his path. He's hit it away from goal.
And then he can swing his leg at it as it comes across his body. Here's Webster just edging forward. Lovely ball the outside of the boot to find Gross. He tries to drill it low along the ground. Comes off the heel of Messina and out for another throw. So much joy down this right-hand flank for the Albion. But again, as I say, they probably haven't made the most of it. Short throw to Webster. Back to Gross. Webster, who's high up the pitch now. Still going towards the corner flag now, but he's curled in a decent cross there towards Mopé. Nearly fell for Trossard as well. Cleverly does well to get it to the left-hand side, and Watford try and clear. Webster just catches his man there. I think it was unfortunate apart from anything.
Yeah, just keeps his legs from under. It's a good bit of skill from Dennis there. Just nipped it past it through his legs, Webster's legs. He's caught him. But like you said earlier, Johnny, again, so much joy in his left-hand side. This left back for Watford is having a bad day, and now the older midfield player is saying to him, look, come on, you're all over the place. He is all over the place, Johnny. We saw that in the first 5 minutes. You can see that's why Brighton targeted him and keep playing down this right-hand side.
Yeah, 1-0 Albion lead. Last time they went head-to-head was back in 1920 season. It was a 1-1 draw at home here at the Amex, and of course the Seagulls won 3-0 on the opening day in Graham Potter's first game in charge in the glorious sunshine up at Vicarage Road. Lewis Dunk just ushering the ball out for a goal kick as he fends off the attentions there of Emmanuel Dennis. They have, signed a lot of players. Ozan Tufan, a midfielder from Fenerbahce, joined on loan with an option to buy this week as well. So they certainly have pushed on with some signings after their promotion from the Championship.
I think, Johnny, this goalkeeper as well. He's been in this country since 2013.
Yeah.
Oh, it was at Stoke, wasn't it? Last week was his first game.
Yeah, that's why I think he could have tested him a little bit more. And he was in the Austrian squad, wasn't he, for the Euros? But as I say, he's not really played much. He hasn't really had to do a great deal. The only thing he has had to do is pick the ball out of the net after Shane Duffy's header went in off the underside of the crossbar. Slowed down a little bit the game in the last 5 or 10 minutes, which maybe is inevitable, but there's 5 more minutes left of this first period. Stay with us for the interview I mentioned earlier with Matty Ryan, who talks very candidly about being blindsided by the club when he was told that he was no longer in their plans. A little bit let down. Good tackle there by Bissouma, wins possession. Chance for Mopé, sticks it home. Neal Mopé, 2 in 2 for him. Becomes the first Albion player to score in the opening 2 games of the season since Liano Ulloa back in 2013. And Albion, who've dominated right throughout this first 45 minutes, take a 2-goal lead.
Yeah, it's wonderful play, isn't it? The keeper, I said the keeper has rolled it out to... He doesn't want it, does he? The centre-back doesn't want it. The keeper's rolled it out. The centre-back doesn't want it. And Bissouma just got his foot in there. And it's a good finish from Mopé. Under a bit of pressure. He's given, don't watch the eyes. Bang. See you later, alligator.
Well, we said he wanted to get to double figures. He's already on 2. Hopefully more to come from Neal Mopé.
Now the stats look a little bit better, Johnny. 68% possession, 2 goals up. That looks better, doesn't it?
It does. It certainly does. It's all about winning the ball, though, isn't it? Bissouma there, attacking the ball, maybe making up a little bit for what happened earlier when
anticipation, Johnny.
Yeah.
The centre halves, we said that after 5 minutes, they don't want the ball. I don't know why the keeper's rolling it to him. He's rolling it out to him. He's not got a picture in his head. Look again, the left back's giving the ball away.
Here's Trossard. They're all at it now. They're rattled.
Well, I don't think they're rattled, Johnny, but they're not very confident at the back.
Yeah.
You can see that.
Great noise from the Seagulls fans as well.
They're getting played around far too easy.
Yeah.
They're not working as a team.
No, there's...
the older midfield player, I don't know what he's doing. Who's he picking up? He's picking nobody up.
Yeah, I don't think he's barely touched the ball.
No, they're playing around him.
Yeah.
He's not intercepted anything. No.
Here's McAllister. Chance for him to get forward. Is he brought down? No, says the referee. He's tumbled down. He's still on the ground. Sliding tackle by Bissouma. Brilliant work there.
If I'm really honest,
that's a challenge on Neal Mopé. He's gone knee to knee there, and I think that could be a bit of a worry. Oh, this is a big concern.
Bissouma, brilliant.
And Neal Mopé now, Adam Lallana's saying, get on as quickly as possible. The medical team racing across the pitch. And no sooner has he scored a goal, Neal Mopé is in the wars after that challenge.
I think he's just caught one on the head, Johnny.
On the head, was it? Well, I thought it might have been his knee.
He's just fallen, He just caught him on the head. He might be,
okay.
Yeah, it's on the head, I think.
Or is it, oh God, it might be his collarbone. He's just holding his right collarbone.
Yeah, it's gone, popped out.
Or is it his dislocated shoulder?
Yeah.
One or the other.
Yeah.
So painful. I've broken my collarbone and that is painful. I don't know whether you've ever dislocated your shoulder, but no. He just landed with a thud on the ground and immediately put his left hand onto his right shoulder. So
and I think he told Alan, get him on quick. It could be painful.
Yeah, it certainly can. Well, so much talk about strikers and Albion's needs in that position over the last, well, not just over the last month or so, but over the last couple of years, really. But Neal Maupay, who started the season so well, I think he's really gutted. I think he knows he might have to come off here.
Yeah.
Well, we're approaching half-time, Warren. We've only got like a minute or so plus the added on time. I just wonder whether they...
I don't think you can.
It depends what he's done, clearly. He's heading off the pitch on the far side, I think. I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Well, if he was coming off for good, Johnny, he'd be coming off this way, wouldn't he?
Yeah, that's what I would have thought, especially with a bad injury.
But like you say, he's a battler, he's a warrior.
2 minutes to be added on then at the end of the first half.
Get it strapped up, Johnny, at half time.
Yeah.
That's if it's not gone. If it's gone, I think it has gone because Conlon is putting his shirt on.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the medical team will have radioed back very quickly. Hilly Reid and Jan Hamburg there speaking
but
to...
He's having a little... trying to move it. He's back on.
Maybe
I think
he's just going to stay on the pitch. Yeah, make up the numbers. Not sure whether that's a good idea, really. You certainly don't want to maybe just hover around the pitch and occupy some space, maybe.
He's moving it though, Joe. He's moving it.
Yeah, I just wonder whether it's just a bad bruise, really. You never know. Maybe it's not quite... Or maybe they've popped it back in. I don't know.
But like you say, you won't make the change till half time.
No, that's what I would have thought. So 2 minutes to be added on. 2 minutes for having to get through to half time with this 2-0 lead and maybe get a bit of treatment for Neal Maupay.
Yeah, I think he just signalled with the sign across it's finished.
Yeah, okay. So it'll be... Oh, it's given away there by Sanchez, right on the edge of the box. And they said they don't want to concede just before half-time. Luckily, McAllister was back there to help his keeper out. And in there goes McAllister again. Strong crunching tackle from him. Wasn't great that from Robert Sanchez. He's been a relative bystander in the game. Not really had to pull off any saves. The 2 shots that Watford have had have gone over the bar and deflected over the top as well. They're on the attack down the right corner flag now. The cross comes in, deflected off Lewis Dunk. Bissouma just cushions him back to the captain, and he launches it clear high up the pitch. Maupay gives chase. That's the sort of thing that just don't bother chasing it. I'm not sure it's even worth him staying on the pitch, really. Taking an absolute age, Aaron Connolly, to get himself ready. So, well, maybe he's not quite sure whether he's coming on. He's not going to be coming on in the first half because there is the half-time whistle from Anthony Taylor. A good 45 minutes for the Seagulls. They lead by 2-0. The first, a Shane Duffy header from Pascal Gross's corner, powered into the net after coming down off the underside of the crossbar. And then with 4 minutes remaining, Bissouma robbing Watford of possession, setting up Neal Maupay, who fired home to double the Seagulls' lead. But now it looks like he will take no further part in the game, as he looks like he may have injured either his shoulder or his collarbone. A couple of chances for Watford, as I say, those 2 shots over the bar. Haven't maybe tested Bachmann as much as they could, Albion, but they've dominated possession and they've dominated the game so far. Yeah,
it's a great start. You saw the intensity straight from the first whistle, Johnny. They won't let Watford settle the back four especially, and when they did have the ball, the Watford back four were very nervous, and you could see give it away. We found the weaknesses out straight away, the left back, and we've doubled up on him, haven't we? Passwell, Gross and Tossard have had great joy on the side. Yes, we're 2-0 up, but I think we could do better in the final third with the opportunities we've had, and we've given up, haven't we? We've no, I don't want to shoot, I'll pass it to you, you do it, and I don't want to do it, you do it. You have to take the game really with yourself and have a pot shot. It could go anywhere, it could deflect, it could go over the foot of the corner, it could go back out and play, it could go anywhere. So I would say have a shot.
Well, let's see if they can push on in the second half, but so good so far for the Seagulls, who lead at the break here at the Amex by 2-0. The whole of the second half still to come here on BBC Sussex Sport.
Johnny Warren, thanks very much indeed. Let me give you the other half-time scores, or the other full-time scores, I should say, in the Premier League. Liverpool 2, Burnley 0 at Anfield. Aston Villa 2, Newcastle 0. It finished Crystal Palace 0, Brentford 0. Leeds 2, Everton 2. Manchester City thrashing Norwich by 5-0. And the Albion, as Johnny was saying, 2-0 up against Watford. And as it stands, the Albion are second in the Premier League as they stand. The Albion with 6 points if results stay as they are. Liverpool top of the table, played 2, and they have got 6 points. So what a start for the Albion, leading by 2-0. And we'll be back with Johnny and Warren for the whole of the second half coming up fairly shortly. Well, when the Albion face Arsenal, they may come up against Ben White, but they won't be facing the former keeper Matty Ryan, who has left the Gunners and joined Real Sociedad. He spoke candidly to Manu Dewajmi from the BBC World Service about his departure. So what exactly happened at Brighton?
The biggest disappointment in that period there was probably the first time I lost my spot against Tottenham. I just got called up to the office the day before the game, and the manager told me that he wanted to go with the other goalkeeper because he felt he had attributes that would better help the team, for that game. Obviously, I'd played up until that point 3 years in the Premier League, and my characteristics seemed to have served the team well up until then. But that was probably the most disappointing moment then, because obviously when he had done that the first time, I obviously knew that he was capable of doing it again. I came back in for the next 3 or 4 games, I think it was, before he then called me to his office again. Once again, he told me he's going to play the other goalkeeper. And then basically after he said that, he started basically thanking me for my time at the club. And
really?
Yeah, it all came as a bit of a shock. Felt sort of blindsided a little bit, to be honest. And yeah, he just says, if you find an offer in January, you can take it. And I just had to, I had to stop him speaking, and I had to clarify with him. Like, so you're telling me like I can leave? I've played my last game and all this type of stuff. And I had a couple of stern words with him, just talking about like, well, what is it and all this. And yeah, basically that was the conclusion of it all. And from that moment, just obviously started to then try to look at some options, and in the beginning of pre-season as well, there was a number of things happening that I just felt wasn't the same as the previous seasons at the club. We got linked to Emi Martinez at the beginning of the season, and the club never really approached me to squash that or clarify if that is the case or it was not. And, my agent was trying to get in contact with the club. They weren't getting back to him and all this types of stuff. So there was a number of signs which felt like there was just a bit of instability, I guess. But all that aside, as a player, you got to go out there and try to perform your best. And obviously what's happened now is the past.
Not being a footballer, the only analogy I can really draw here is being dumped by someone who tells you, I don't think it's working, when you think it's working perfectly well. What were the emotions that you went through initially when you were delivered this blow from out of the blue?
The season had sort of been a funny one up until that point also, because I hadn't been making as many sort of saves in that season. And I know there's this expected goal stat and all this that comes out, and I think I was quite low in that. And that was sort of portrayed as the reason for, my form not being up to scratch, was that my save percentage and all this type of stuff was down and not good. But I mean, I didn't feel as if I was making any mistakes or anything like that in the games, things that I could control. But that expected goal stat, I mean, if someone shoots from the edge of the box and it hits a defender, 2 or 3 meters in front of you and takes a deflection that goes in the goal still goes down as an expected goal from the shot outside the box and not where it touched the defender, So in my opinion, there's a bit of over-analysis in the game, but, I don't want to be salty at the fact because perhaps those numbers didn't fall in my favour at that moment. But at the end of the day, I mean, I'm obviously out there trying to stop balls going in the back of the net, and someone viewed me that I wasn't doing a sufficient enough job, or someone else could do a better job, so they made the change. And at the time, yeah, it obviously feels like a personal attack on yourself. But I think in the grand scheme of things, when you're able to take a step back and look at it all, I mean, I'm not the first player to ever get dropped or to not be in favour or anything like that. It happens. The experiences that I then had at Arsenal as well, that obviously wouldn't have happened without that period in Brighton, it finishing that way either. So I felt like I've learned quite a bit in these last couple of months.
And I saw your tweets when you joined Arsenal, your boyhood club. That must have been quite special for you.
Yeah, no, I always just keep going back to how cool it is. I must be a very small, minuscule percentage of players that can say that they've played for their club that they grew up supporting as a kid. So that's quite cool to be able to have said that. And watching games as a kid, the Thierry Henrys, Robert Pires's and all this, and all of a sudden I've played for the same team, and yeah, it sits quite nicely with me, It's quite cool to have achieved that.
In the conversations that you and I have had in the past, the one thing that struck me is that you're a thinker, not just about football, but just generally about life. You seem to have both feet on the ground. But I would have thought that it's impossible to reach the level that you've reached without having some kind of an ego. So what was it like sitting on the bench after Graham Potter said to you, basically, we don't want you anymore, you can go?
Yeah, well, I mean, I wasn't even on the bench, really, was I? I was in the stands. So I went from playing to being out of the squad completely. And I know there was a lot of confusion from fans and the media as to what happened. Everyone thought that, I'd maybe punched Graham Potter in the face or something like this, or there's a lot of speculation out there. But honestly, I mean, there was no fallout or anything that didn't cause a problem, or some people in some situations would have dealt with it differently and maybe kicked up more of a fuss or whatever. And don't get me wrong, I was disappointed and all that. But from a young age, I was always obviously brought up with great advice from my family, and things like trying to concentrate on things that you can control, and had conversations with my agent, saying, after everything you've done for the club, they treated you like this and all that. And yeah, I mean, we're a little bit salty in that sense. Never to a point where I put myself bigger than the club. And I could understand also from a club's perspective or a manager's perspective, if it's like that in any industry. If a boss feels that they've got someone that can do a better job, they're obviously going to experiment with it and try and make a change to see if that works or not for them. So I could totally understand there's a business side to football as well. So, I mean, I don't really know. I think I was more confused as anything. And I felt like I'd given my all to the club and I'd performed well in my time there. And yeah, I went about trying to move on with my life.
When you're second choice goalkeeper, how much do you want the other guy to fail or get injured?
I guess there's two different circumstances. I mean, obviously when I was at Brighton, when I had been the number one there, and it sort of came as a bit of a shock. I hadn't really sort of mentally prepared for it, as compared going to obviously Arsenal, where I knew they obviously had Bernd Leno, and I knew I perhaps wasn't going to be playing as number one from the get-go, at least anyway. But that step going to Arsenal, I felt like I really learned a lot. Probably the first thing that took acknowledgement of was the fact that no one ever has the right to be out on the pitch to play. Like, no one should ever expect that. Because I'd obviously been the number one for quite a while there. In the beginning, it was like, how could they drop me? I mean, what I've done for the club, it counts for nothing and all this, blah, 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 blah. But the nature of the sport is, no matter what you've done in the past, you've got to keep that right. And the mentality of Mikel Arteta, he makes it clear from the get-go that no one in any position on the pitch has any given right to be playing. Those who deserve to play will play. There's a side of it where, when you're playing obviously for a team like Brighton and you're playing against Man United, Arsenal, Chelsea, these winners, all those types of stuff, training against them on a day-to-day basis and testing myself against them and on a day-to-day basis, and not just a week-to-week basis when you play them on the weekend, I took more self-confidence from that. I said to myself, well, hold on a second, I mustn't be a bad goalkeeper either if I'm able to, be so successful against them. So I feel like during my time there and that experience against those caliber of players, I feel like I gained more self-confidence in myself, and I feel like I've implemented that into who I am today. That's going to be an experience now, going in with that mindset where you've proven on a day-to-day basis to yourself. Now, there's no stopping you now. Like, go on, kick on from here and see what that experience can bring me.
Fascinating. So how different are you now to how you were 12 months ago?
I feel in a better place. I'll do my best on what I can do, sort of thing. And, if someone doesn't want to select me or use me, then that's their loss or whatever. And everyone always says you need to be playing regularly in order to be in form and doing well. But because there was a real emphasis on training well at Arsenal, and I'm not saying that wasn't the case at Brighton, but there was more of an emphasis at Arsenal, I think because of the competition for spots, because of the quality across the whole squad. I really had the mentality, perhaps because I wasn't playing so regularly either, to really knuckle down in the training. And in the couple of games I played for Arsenal, and even with the national team afterwards, I wasn't playing, I guess, on a week-to-week basis, but I feel like my level of performances in those games were just as high as when I had been playing regularly in the past. And I think that was down to my approach to my training and really investing myself even more so, like being more conscious to make sure I put in even more into training than what I had done ever in the past. I like to think I sort of had that mindset in the past, but I'd been at Brighton a long time, and you get used to certain things being the way they are, and it's obviously keeps repeating week in, week out where I'd been the number one, and then all of a sudden a big curveball comes in and, you get a fresh perspective and all this types of stuff. And that's another thing that I felt I learned.
You've got to be tough mentally, don't you, to be a goalkeeper?
Yeah, it's not an easy position. Yeah, I mean, in order to be considered to have played a good game, you basically need to play a perfect game, because any sort of mistake or error type of thing, and you can do 20 great things in one game, but if you do one bad thing, then everyone only remembers the bad thing. But I guess that's the challenge that we all thrive on as a goalkeeper, in search of that perfection. And yeah, I mean, in the times that I've been able to achieve that in a game, and you're able to contribute to a win against a great opposition, that there's no better feeling in the world. And I guess it's that ecstasy of that moment, of that feeling, is what is addictive for us, and I guess why we are goalkeepers.
So that's the former Albion goalkeeper Matty Ryan, who's now at Real Sociedad over in Spain, talking to Melanie Jasmine. Really interesting interview. Matty Ryan, who spent, 3 seasons at the Amex, but now no longer part of Graham Potter's plans, and his mate wish him all the very best. If you're just joining us here on BBC Radio Sussex, a terrific half for the Albion, leading by 2-0 against Watford. Goals from Shane Duffy and Neil Maupay. Back to the Amex in just a few moments' time. We'll find out whether Neil Maupay is going to indeed start the second half. He went off after a collision. It looked like maybe a shoulder injury or maybe a collarbone. And as he walked off at half-time, he looked pretty despondent. So we'll have to see whether he's going to start the second half. And let's hope if it is an injury, that it's not that serious. Elsewhere in the Premier League today, if you've missed it, Aston Villa 2, Newcastle 0. Crystal Palace 0, Brentford 0. Leeds 2, Everton 2. Manchester City walloping Norwich by 5-0. In terms of the way the Premier League looks at the moment, if it stays like this, the Albion will be second in the Premier League tonight. Liverpool top, maximum points from their 2 games, and the Albion would be second place in the table on goal difference only if they can hang on to this lead. And they were dominant during that first period. The Albion leading by 2-0. Elsewhere, and we'll have a review a little bit later on in the National League South. Eastbourne Borough, a good away win for them today in Essex. They beat Billericay by 5-2. Don't forget, coming up in terms of cricket, coming up on Tuesday, commentary online of Sussex in action in the T20 quarter-final from Durham, that being played against Yorkshire. As I say, full commentary online. But I can see the players are making their way back out onto the pitch for the second period. And high time to join our commentary team. Your match summariser, Warren Aspinall. Your match commentator, Johnny Cantor.
Hear every Albion game live.
BBC Radio Sussex Sport.
Yeah, thanks very much indeed, Adrian. And I think we're going to see changes from both sides coming up in this second half, actually. And probably no surprise on either account, really. The fact that Neil Maupay, well, he looked in a really bad way, didn't he? We'll have to wait and see what the diagnosis is. That looks like he'll be replaced by Aaron Connolly. Also changes, I think, for Watford, because they probably can't continue. Looks like Hernandez is going to come on for them. Well, there'll be more than one change, actually, potentially for the visitors. But it's the visitors who are out first, ready for the second half. And here we come up, confirmation of the changes. Pucho Hernandez is coming on, and Imran Lusa is going to come off. So that's their change. And here come the Seagulls. So Hernandez, who scored last week, comes on. And just waiting to see. And it is Aaron Connolly who will replace Neil Maupay. Well, I guess it's not really just about this 45 minutes, Warren. It's more about the longer-term prognosis, isn't it, when it comes to Neil Maupay, because they'll want him fit.
Yes, of course. You saw him moving it quite gingerly when he was walking off, so I don't think it's escalated or something like that. I think he might have done a bit, maybe some ligaments, I don't know. He was in some pain, but hopefully it's not too bad. Hopefully it's a quick healer. But they're taking, I think their formation will change now, Johnny, because I think they've taken a centre midfield player off in Loser, as he coming off Loser. And to be fair, they brought a striker on, who last week's got a wonderful goal, didn't he? Individual goal.
Yeah, it was a fabulous goal, wasn't it? So, well, they do have a loser and a success, as one of our colleagues in the media pointed out earlier today, which, and actually Burnley had numbers 1 to 11 today, as they lost to Liverpool in the lunchtime game. Albion have come close to that on a couple of occasions, but not today. So, well, it's a big 45 minutes, I feel, for Aaron Connolly, left out of the squad last week. Let's hope he can take this opportunity and really work this Watford defence. Stay on his feet as well. Stay on side. Stay on your feet. Do the basics well for the first 10 minutes.
Well, to refer these centre backs, they struggle with more pace, or with Connolly's pace in and around him. He needs to move them about though, Johnny. There's no point being static up there.
Yeah, let's hope he can link up with Leandro Trossard. So Albion playing from right to left in this second half as we look on here, attacking the north stand in the second period as Bachmann just took his eye off the ball. It wasn't actually a great pass out to the defender for the second goal, which was scored by Neil Maupay, but coming after Shane Duffy's opener, the header, and Pascal Gross' corner, the 2 goals that have given the Seagulls the cushion going into the second half. But plenty of football still to be played. Here's Cathcart on the right side, using Cleverley, who's dropped deep inside his own half. Watford in all red this afternoon, Albion in their blue strip. Blue patch with the white numbers on the back. I tell you what, we're going to have some difficult ones later on in the season. Brentford, oh my God, black numbers on red and white stripes. You can't tell the numbers on the backs of those, that's for sure. Here's Cleverley striding forward, brought down by McAllister, free kick for the visitors.
I'm just glad it's an afternoon kick-off, Johnny, isn't it? So he won't run under the floodlights, so we might be able to see him.
I think Newcastle's are pretty tricky as well, but...
when I was scouting, Johnny, in my scouting days, that's what clubs used to do. Reading was the terrible one. They used to sit in the big stand right,
because they don't want you seeing who's who.
No, the corners and set plays. But nowadays, with all this technology, Johnny, no, it shouldn't matter.
Yeah. Now, I thought they had to have a little bit off Ismail Star. He's not really had much of a look in, and that's credit to the likes of Solly March, but he may drift across the pitch, I think, Sarr, in this second half. There's Chicho Hernandez, the substitute. Floated ball across to the right, nodded back to Cleverley, 15 yards inside the Albion half. Basuma coming forward to try and apply some pressure. Hoisted left foot curling ball across to the centre back on that left hand side. Christian Cabaselli now on to Adam Messina. Back in field there. Tebo.
It's good from Brighton, got the shape very well over there. Very quickly, making it hard for them to break down.
It's interesting to see how positive they will be in the second half with a 2-goal lead. Of course, that can evaporate quickly, and here come Watford on the attack. Run there by Dennis, fired across the face of goal. Sanchez manages to get there, just claims it, just spilt it slightly, but managed to claim it at the second attempt.
It's far too easy that, because he's come in short, Dennis, and Lewis Dunk's gone with him, but he's spun and got in behind. It's a lovely ball from this left-hand side, and you can see what Cleverley's doing. He's trying to get on this right back spot, pick up the ball and push Cathcart a bit further forward.
Yeah.
And now Sanchez. He has to be better.
Yeah, it's careless, it's sloppy. Need to eradicate that as quickly as possible, just chipping the ball out of play with no Albion player around, and Watford now have possession from the throw. William Ikong, one of the 9 permanent signings made by Watford in the summer. Here's Hernandez, powering the ball across. He's already given them a little bit more energy in that midfield area.
What they're trying to do now, Johnny, Seema, who's up in like as a left back, trying to get on the ball as well. And they're trying to push both wing backs further forward.
They've got in behind Lewis Dunk there, and it's a long floated ball, but his header goes through to Sanchez. Sorry, Warren.
It's a poor header.
Yeah.
If he takes a little glance there, Sanchez is off his line. He's got in behind Lewis Dunk, and it's a straight ball, Johnny. It's just one long ball from the left back position.
Well, we've got to say the visitors have started the better in the opening 4 minutes of the second half, despite the fact that they trail by 2-0 here on BBC Sussex Sports.
Well, you would have expected that. The
reaction.
Yeah.
But Albion can't be too passive.
No.
Duffy just at full stretch, then he concedes a throw. He felt that come off the Watford player, but...
Well, no, it's rightly so. It's a poor pass back out. The urgency, you need to get the urgency, the tempo.
Yeah.
I think it's still in the dressing room.
Yeah, they've not been sharp. Could prove costly, but that cross drifts behind for a goal kick. It's certainly better from Watford, certainly not better from the Seagulls in the opening 5 minutes. The Albion, who have Sanchez in goal, March, Dunk, Duffy and Webster across the back, Basuma, Lallana, McAllister, Trossard, Gross, and now Connolly, who's on as a replacement for Neil Maupay.
Next goal is very important, but if you're 3-0 up, then you can come to 2-1, and you can see today, I bet this team's come from 2-0 down and drawn 2 each, or maybe gone on to win the game 3-2. So 2-0, yes, you look comfortable, but the third one's the most important goal in any football game.
Warren Aspinall with us here on BBC Sussex Sport as the Seagulls go charging forward on the right. Pascal Gross has had a lot of the ball on that right side. Advanced run there by Adam Webster, still going towards the corner flag. 2 defenders in front of him though, and he loses out. Could have made more of that really, the Seagulls, which is a shame. An hour-long hopeful ball means that Lewis Dunk has to get the ball back to his keeper. Does well there to get ahead of Emmanuel Dennis. Coming short is Basuma, takes it off his keeper. Basuma, a little bit better. A bit more urgency about things now.
Couldn't you, in the first 5 minutes when Watford were attacking us, and now they're trying to get behind them, and rightly so.
Nice ball there by Basuma to McAllister. Over halfway, centrally positioned. Connolly running through the middle. March has gone wide. McAllister goes to the right. Gross creeps into the area. Chance for Connolly, left foot. He's put it wide. The North Stand thought it was flying into the back of the net. He's hit the stanchion.
Straight in Aaron Connolly's pass. And what is he? 10 yards out?
Well, he's missed the first one with his left foot, but then it comes back to him. To be fair, he tried to relax. It fell nicely for him. It's not far wide, but
Got all the goal to aim at, Johnny. It's a miss. It's a bad miss. And he'd done his confidence a world of good.
Yeah, what a shame. As you say, left out of the squad at Burnley, back in at half-time, gets an opportunity like that, just 6 minutes in. Maybe had another opportunity here, because Trossard's prowling towards the edge of the area. Rolls it off to the left to find McAllister. The Argentinian looks up, rolls it back to Solly March, the left-back. He pushes it further forward. McAllister again. Into Trossard on the diagonal. Trossard tries to drive it in left-footed, blocked there by the defender Ikong, and goes out of play for a corner. This is better from the Seagulls.
Yeah, it's very better. Very good play again. It's down his left-hand side now. Solly March getting on the ball. So lovely passing into Trossard. I think his first touch wasn't the best. The second touch tried to cross it. Connolly did well, get across his defender, ready for the tap-in, which just got cut out the near post area.
Corner then left side. 8 minutes into this second half. The Seagulls have a 2-goal lead. Gross is going to take it. Webster jostling position. Duffy is up as well. Goes to the near post. Comes off the chest there of Lewis Dunk. It goes backwards. Falls from March. He heads it wide to Gross once more. The German under pressure now. Little Cruyff turn. Right-footed. Back post. In there's Duffy. Patched away by Bachmann. Off goes Hernandez. Trying to break. Seagulls players swarming back into position. And Hernandez runs straight into McAllister. Good tracking back that by the Argentinian. He does have that, doesn't he? He's got that ability to block players off. He's strong in the tackle.
Brilliant player, Johnny. Filling in for your teammates. Knowing where the danger is. And that's what he did brilliantly there. Just track back, won the ball, gives it simple, and then moves forward 10, 15 yards into an advance. We're all now looking for the ball.
When I spoke to him after the game at Burnley, he was saying about how he wants to play more, but he understands that, you know, the manager is very big on you're not going to play every game. It doesn't matter who you are. And he understands that, but you've just got to make an impact when you do play. Here can Trossard make an impact. He's over halfway on the right side. Early ball towards Connolly, away by the defender. Picked up by Cleverley, back into that central position. Connolly putting pressure there on the centre-back. That's good work. Comes off Dennis, back to the right-back Cathcart. He slides it down the right side. Bit of space here. Chance maybe with them attack with Dennis, but that's a good challenge by Lewis Dunk ahead of Ismail Sarr.
Again, good defending that. Again, in front of the Watford player. Yeah. Anticipating the pass is going to go there. Went there, won the ball and give it. Good play by Connolly.
Yeah, lovely chest off there to McAllister, midway through the Watford half. McAllister now to Trossard. Gross pushing forward on the right. Trossard goes on his own and wraps it against the defender. Comes spinning out to the far side. Gross once more, uses Trossard. Nice run by McAllister to the byline. Can he pull it back? Fires it in at pace. Comes off the defender, didn't make its way through to Connolly. Now wide by Lallana. Gross once more. Nice ball to the edge of the box. Trossard onto his left foot, and that's Caldwell wide. Goal kick, still 2-0 to the Seagulls. Certainly better in the last 5 minutes.
Just wearing them down now, aren't we? We expect Watford to come out that second half, and they did do that. They came at us. We weathered the storm. Now we've got all of the game again. Moving the ball very well in that final third. But what I would say, Johnny, there's always options on.
Yeah, and we've just built up that intensity a little bit after a slow start in this second half. Well, Liverpool are the only side with a 100% record from the opening 2 games of the season. Some teams playing tomorrow and on Monday. But as it stands, Albion could be on their way to 6 points from 2 games, and that would be just what the doctor ordered. But they've still got a bit of work to do, as Watford, I'm sure, will try and come again in this second half, as Gross finds Bissouma inside his own half. Wide to Gross again. Now looks up, drifts the ball across to Solly March. Hasn't really got forward in this second half so much, but maybe just deciding to sit back and try and marshal Ismail Assar. Because when they've got possession, they just need to work Watford round, don't they? Well, play round them, keep the ball, use the possession, but use it well. That's the key. Dunk looking forward, not too much movement ahead of him, so just elects to go back to Shane Duffy, scored the first goal in that first half. Lopez with the second is off the pitch. Little flick there by Trossard, then he commits a foul, I think. But no, the referee's let it go, and Trossard will pick it up on that right side. Connolly goes into the channel. Trossard still going, rolls it across for March. He takes a touch with his left foot, stabs it back in, left by Connolly, and goes all the way through and cleared by the Watford defence.
Everybody had a who there and having a go at Connolly, but I think it was clever play from Connolly.
Yeah, let it go across the way. Someone needed to anticipate it, didn't they? Play by Solly March. He was patient. He's got an opportunity to attack against Cathcart if he wants to.
Just back to the goalkeeper, regroup, suck him out again, this Watford side, Johnny. Because at the moment, there's gaps everywhere, isn't there?
Yeah. Yeah, they haven't been disciplined.
They're not working as a team at all.
No, the shape, you know, and as you say, not like someone like a Burnley where they always get those banks of 4 behind the ball as March floats it over the top, trying to find Connolly, who's out-jumped there by the central defender, Cabaselli.
I'm looking on the pitch, Johnny, at the Watford side. Where the leaders are, the front three, they've got the head down and looking at the grass. There's no leaders, they're shouting and pulling people here, and that's what you need.
Cleverly, the captain, who was their player of the season last season, I think, hasn't really managed to influence the game so far. But, well, as I say, a bit more to be done, so Albion need to maintain that effort. It looked like the ball went out of play, but March still plays it and keeps it in, goes back to Dunk. He goes forward to Lallana. This isn't quite deep. Suma's pushed on a little bit more. Again, it's floated over the top, and again the Watford defender is there. This time cushioned back to the keeper, Bachman.
He's unlucky that you can see Adam. Too much flight on the ball, isn't it?
Just wonder whether, well, I'll come back to it in a second, because Watford are on the attack here through Ismail Assar. Sarr shifts it down the channel, finding Dennis. Dennis drifting into the box, trying to get it back there to, I think it was Sema on that occasion, but Albion have it through Bissouma, who's down by the left corner flag. A little bit soft on the clearance, and then whacks it out for a Watford throw. Again, a little bit sloppy at times. Just wonder whether Connolly could work those channels a little bit more, because he's going straight down the middle at times.
He's trying to play between the two
yeah, which is clearly what he's been instructed to do, but I think at times as well he can drift them out of position. First challenge by Bissouma down in that left corner. Then March wraps it against Watford player, but actually is adjudged to be a Watford throw. Nearly 15 minutes played of this second half. BBC Sussex Sport here. Brighton and Hove Albion 2, Watford 0. Both goals coming in the first half. Throw for Watford, down by the right corner flag. Cathcart, makeshift right back. Get involved, but McAllister's managed to nip in there, flicks it up the line. Cleverly there for Watford, all in their red this evening. Seeing a little bit more possession in this second half, the visitors. Forward comes Webster though, that's a lovely bit of work from him. In with a challenge, then lays it forward there to Connolly. He then holds it up, under pressure, twists, no foul, it'll be a throw I think. But I think especially with the directive from the referees, he's going to have to stay firm, because he wasn't getting anything last season, Morris. He's certainly not going to get anything this season.
No, and that's a good play that. He's won the ball, drove forward. Thought he had a free kick, but no, he's gone out for a throw-in. But he's driven Watford back 20 yards.
Throw to the corner flag.
Or push back Watford 20 yards, driven Brighton up the pitch.
Trossard wins a corner. Troy Deeney is warming up. It's another option. And of course, they have Josh King, who's yet to make his debut after joining on a free transfer. Ashley Fletcher, another striker. So He does have options, Cisco Munoz. So, corner right side, Duffy coming forwards, Webster's there as well. Outswinger from the right, hoisted high. Big leap there by Duffy, still not cleared. Hooked away this time by Cathcart. In there goes March, good charge there on Hernandez, heads the ball out of play.
Bit of bravery there from Solly March.
Yeah, had a good game. It was a good start to the season. Always difficult when you come back from a big injury, isn't it, Warren?
Yeah, he was saying...
A bit worried about, you know...
We haven't got a natural left back, whatever. We have. I think he's good.
Yeah. I think... not, you know, he didn't grow up as a defender, as it were, but I think he's learned his trade very, very well indeed, and he's very flexible too. Webster gets wrong side, then he has to drag back his man. That'll be a free kick. It might even be a yellow card, but we'll see. Anthony Taylor cautions Adam Webster. It's the first booking of the game.
Yeah, he just got caught trying to nip in front of him. Good play from the centre forward there. Got away from Webster. Webster had to just grabbing his shirt.
Well, I know a lot of the Watford fans have been calling for Troy Deeney to sort of, you know, be featuring from the start, but he may yet come on. I think that will happen probably quite soon, I imagine. With Josh King perhaps as well, but I think everyone knows how everyone's getting on in training and their fitness. But Watford with a nice back heel here too cleverly, who shoots, and it's just pushed behind there by Sanchez. Hooked clear there by Lalana to stop it going out for a corner. Edging back into the game here, Watford. It's a decent effort that from Cleverley.
Yeah, it's good play.
Quick throw down to the byline. Dunk just allows it to go out of play, and it'll be a goal kick. Certainly looking more dangerous, aren't they?
Yes, they are there, and he's on his weaker foot, Cleverley. Got a wonderful right foot, but he's on his weaker foot. Pull the trigger, hit the target, good save from Sanchez. I think Josh King is coming on now for Watford. They need something up more up front.
Lallana caught in possession there. And in the first half it was Watford who were making mistakes. Now it's the Albion as they come out of defence, but Webster has recovered to get it back. He finds Gross on there to Lallana. I wonder whether actually Graham Potter might be considering a few changes with about 25 minutes to go, Warren, as well.
Yeah, maybe Adam Lallana coming off.
Yeah.
Put some legs on there.
Modder. Yeah. Good to see we're in agreement, Warren. Don't forget, Tuesday night, trip to Cardiff. 7:30 start, kickoff is at 7:45. Goes straight to penalties if it's level after 90 minutes. Here's March down the line to McAllister. McAllister now, chance to look up. Back heels it. March continues his run. Bounce in his step. Wants to take on Cathcart. Rolls it back for McAllister, who's on the edge of the area. He's urged to shoot, he does, and it's deflected away. Hernandez cushions it up to halfway. And this time it's Duffy who's going to be booked. Free kick in the centre circle. Well,
just take one for the team there, Johnny, because he's taking the ball away from Duffy, and if he takes the ball with him, he gets his head up. He's got 3 or 4 advancing Watford players there against 2 Brighton defenders.
No argument really, to be honest. Don't want them to add up. He goes with his left, misses him, and then he goes with his right down the back of his calf. And Josh King is a player I like, Warren. I do like him as a player. I know he's confident. Some people say as far as arrogance, but you sometimes need that as a striker.
I think his wages was a bit too much for Brighton. They wanted to go for him because he was on lots of money at Bournemouth, wasn't he?
Yeah. Well,
they went to Everton, probably got more money there, didn't he?
He said that he was promised a lot from Carlo Ancelotti, but given nothing. So he may yet get his opportunity here. And they sacrificed the right back Cathcart, so they'll probably go to a 3 at the back. We'll come back to that in a second. Here's Ismail Assar, swings in an early cross. That's headed away there by Duffy. Finds Trossard. Forward now comes Lallana. Finds McAllister. Wants to look up, has to check though, and that allows Watford to get back into position. Back to Lewis Dunk.
Yeah, you put the danger man, Sarr, as a fullback, Johnny, as a wing back.
Wing back, yeah.
And Sema on the left side.
I think they were.
So you got two flying wingers, aren't you? And then push back as wing backs.
So it's important really now that Webster and March really do, and Trossard and Gross as well, and those flanks just keep pushing Watford back. Don't allow them to get balls in from wide areas. Well, again, tremendous noise from the Albion crowd.
If they can suck Sema out, Johnny, on that left-hand side,
Yes.
and leave. There's lots of space to be isolated, like this side over here.
Basuma didn't put enough of that one on the ball to March, and it's headed back there. And the defender nearly caught in possession by Connolly, but he calls for March. March tees it up for Trossard. First heavy touch, then he tries to bring it down with his second. Gets away from him. Shows his
This is where we have to be worried, Johnny. Three against three.
Duffy bounced off the ball by King. King looks up, peels for offside. Flag goes up. It's stuck in the back of the net, but it won't count.
Great bit of skill from the lad, though, Johnny. Well, there you see, we're pushing our wing back. We're pushing our wing backs forward there, and we're leaving 3 against 3. That we can't allow that.
Yeah, and especially now with a couple of players on yellow cards. Yes, he certainly is offside. I don't think there's any argument about that, but he actually tucked it away very neatly, actually.
Well, there's lots of space now. I'm going to isolate. If you can draw Seamer out that left back spot, draw Saw on this right back spot, draw him out, and there's lots of green space to isolate, especially on that left hand side, because now the original left back is going as a left centre back.
Early ball forward to Aaron Connolly, headed away by the centre back Cabaselli. Falls from McAllister. McAllister dinks it over the top, but again it's headed away. They've just gone the aerial route on a couple of occasions. I think they're going to make some changes soon, because they sense, I think, maybe Enoch Mwepu might come on, perhaps. His taste of the Amex in the Premier League. There's a little pat on the back there from his head coach, so that'll be an indicator that he'll be coming on for the final quarter of the game, with the scoreline at Albion 2, Watford 0. Right, it comes to the right. Here's Ismail Assar. He's got a willing runner down the line, driven in at the near post, and it's comfortable for Sanchez, who's not challenged. Hasn't had too much to do. It's a shaky play from the Albion keeper, but certainly been kept busy, and he was beaten well there by Dennis for the goal that was eventually chalked off for offside.
It looks a lot livelier now. Dennis has got some support with him up front.
Yeah,
he's too isolated on his own up there, and now he's got King in and around him. He can feed off King, and he's got good movement. We've seen that.
Yeah. And actually, King is very good at linking up play. I mean, obviously, I think a lot of the time he was at Bournemouth, he played off the left when actually he wanted to be a number 9. And that was part of the problem, I think. But here they come again. Sarr nodding it down the line. Back heel from Dennis, away by Lewis Dunk. Wasn't strong enough. Callister will try and get there, but can't. Watford have it again. In there, had an opportunity to maybe clear it, Albion, but Watford trying to work it down the right. Held up again, right side of the area. Trossard can't get a nibble on there. Sarr still has it, back to Cleverley. Now Lallana trying to step forward. Chance for Hernandez, he hits it, it's dipping, just over the bar. Good opportunity that. Good strike there by Hernandez, the substitute. Sanchez saw it over the top of the crossbar, and it remains 2-0 to the Albion.
He's looked lively as well, hasn't he? The substitute at half-time, Hernandez. He's got a wonderful goal last week, individual goal.
Good technique, isn't it?
But at times, when we're we're causing our own problems at the back. Just trying to knock it, little dink over the top. It's not going to work.
Nice run this by Webster, getting to halfway. Trying to feed Connolly. Connolly trying to use his pace. Gets there first. Wants to take on his man. Gets to the left-hand side of the penalty area. Good run. Tries to get the ball into McAllister. It's too far ahead of him. And Massina is there for Watford. Lovely run that by Webster. Must have gone about 30 yards. Drifting, weaving across the pitch.
He's had a good game, Webster.
Yeah, he has. And March. Here's Bissouma. What can he do here? Driving forward towards the edge of the box. Wants to take on his man. Goes left side, pass 1, pass 2. Takes it back in. Cross, peels for handball. Left-footed volley by McAllister. He wants one as well. With him, why not? Oh, that's a bounce down there, and he's hurt his leg. Maybe a dead leg. The ball kicked against the Albion player there. That won't endear.
He's kicked the ball out. He's just rolled over like he's been short, Johnny, hasn't he? We don't need them antics, do we?
No. It's about game management, really, isn't it, Warren? Whatever happens, 20 minutes remaining. It looks like Trossard may be coming off. It is Trossard to make way. What do you make of that change in his performance in this game, Warren?
He's fitted in and out, Johnny. He's got in good areas of the pitch. brought the lines very well, hasn't he? I don't think he can do a little bit better when he gets on the ball in the final third. I like to see him have a couple of shots. But Mwepu, as you can see how lively he is, full of energy. Might give him that little spring they need to get him over the line. Drag the team forward a little bit more. Mwepu's going to centre midfield.
Lallana's been sent out to the right, I think. Quite surprised that Lallana's been kept on, actually, Warren. I mean, he's a starter next week against Everton, isn't he?
Yeah, a voice as well on the pitch.
Yeah. Well, here's Cleverly dinking the ball over the top, trying to get it in behind March. And it's a good run on this side by Sarr, but it's a good recovery by March. Kept his eye on the ball all the way. I think he was behind in the foot race initially. But covered well.
From the first 5 yards, though, very, very quick, solid March.
Yeah, it's interesting to speaking to our colleagues from Three Counties Radio, and they were saying, well, you don't seem to have a left back. I said, well, Solly March is faster than you think. Here's Sanchez driving the ball right-footed, that one to that right flank. Messina allows it to bounce, so has to turn, and turns into trouble because Lallana is there, trying to push him back. Messina sends it into the east stand. He doesn't even look like he's left-footed really at times, Adam Messina.
Oh.
Maybe it was a false dawn last weekend against Aston Villa, who beat Newcastle by 2-0 earlier.
I think it was in the first half, and I think he had his legs tied together.
The old three-legged race.
Yeah.
Gross over on the right, down by the corner flag for the Albion. Drags it back, there it is, there's the turn, this time it's low. Shots at the near post, pulled back by Lallana. Connolly couldn't pull the trigger, charged down, McAllister has it, he feeds Bissouma. Still driving and working it on the edge of the box. They try and curl it across to the near side to find Solly March, who just fouls his man. It'll be a free kick. So many times they get themselves into these positions, Warren, especially that first 20 minutes of the first half. Could have had a hatful.
He could have done. Be a bit braver in the final third, and he say you could at least test the goalkeeper a little bit more. I think that's what Graham may be disappointed with in the 90 minutes of play, that we didn't test their goalkeeper enough.
Yeah. You can get a bit nitpicky, can't you, at times?
Yes.
But no, that's what we're here to do, and analyse the game, which has 17 minutes plus added on time remaining. Watford looking to try and get back into the match at 2-0 down. Down the right side they go. And there goes March again. Hooks it over his left shoulder. Big leap by Mwepu. Loses out to Cleverly. Coming back is Lallana into central position. Hernandez, the substitute, rolls it out wide for Watford. On that left side, early swinging crossed in, chested back there by Lewis Dunk to his keeper. Cool as a cucumber, Lewis Dunk. Facing his own goal, 7 yards out, and just took all the pace off the ball to just guide it back to his keeper.
Because that could just, if he's got a strong chest, it could just ping straight off him, couldn't it? Into the goal.
We've all done that on a Friday night when the ball's pinged into you and you try and chest it down, it disappears 10 yards up the pitch. But, he was spot on once again there, Albion's captain Lewis Dunk. Of course, we'll get Warren's thoughts on man of the match as Sarr nutmegs Solly March, but Dunk won't be denied. He wins it back. Now Bissouma. They can keep moving that ball maybe a little bit quicker at times if they want to put a little bit of pressure on Bachmann's goal. Not really been tested in this second half. Connolly had that glaring opportunity which he put wide early in this second half to make it 3-0. Now it goes back from Bissouma all the way to Sanchez. Needs to look up, find an out ball, and stuck it up the channel. Off goes Connolly. Oh, it's a bit late getting going there, but and he puts it. It's just got electrifying pace. Just wonder if someone could just work on that, staying onside, that bent run that Welbeck does so well. Because I forget about Danny Welbeck, just one of the players who are out at the moment, alongside Dan Byrne, Joel Veltman, and of course Tariq Lamptey, who's been spotted in training, so maybe back after the international break, we shall see. All across to the left-hand side, Watford on the attack. Gross trying to get back into position, clips the edge of the box, and Bissouma is there for the Seagulls. Lallana trying to stick it up there to Connolly, who tries to hold his man. The referee just says play on. Yes, don't be too despondent there, I don't think, Alan Connolly. He's tried to do the right thing, just don't get wound up. You're on your own up there.
He's held him off, Johnny, but he needs to try to get away from him. Doesn't it?
Then if he pulls you back, then you'll get the free kick.
Just don't put your arms around him as well.
Yeah. footballing intelligence. Hold him to begin with, then let go, and then when he grabs you, then you get your free kick. Oh, it's so easy from up here, isn't it? Here's Messina for Watford, flicking it forward to King. King brings it down in the box, trying to take Duffy away to that left-hand side. And he has dragged him out of position. Mwepu trying to block the ball on the edge of the box, but Hernandez has got it, and it's a good driving run from him. Gets the cross in towards the back post. It's scissor kicked away by Solly March at the back post. Another yard forward, that could have been very dangerous indeed. Yeah, Watford threatening.
Good defending from Solly March.
Troy Deeney's going to come on for Watford as well, so they're sticking everybody up front. Maybe Dennis will come off as it's launched high towards the back post, where Ismail Assar brings it down right side of the Albion penalty area. Curled in, out comes Sanchez. Well, I think we're going to see the ball swing into the box a lot more in the next 15 minutes or so when Troy Deeney comes on the pitch.
Yeah. King's just trying to hide behind Sanchez. But yes, I think the wide areas, get the ball out wide areas, get it into the box. King, Deeney. Deeney's got his arms folded. Doesn't look like he wants to come on, does he?
Maybe he's frustrated that he can't get on. He has to wait for the ball to go out of play, which it does after it's headed out by Messina for an Albion throw. Ken Sema. And Deeney comes on. A few boos for him. Scored the odd goal against the Seagulls. So quite a few own goals actually in the encounters between these two sides over the last few years. Doucouré, who's no longer with the Hornets. And here's Shane Duffy. Sorry, Webster now to Lallana. Webster again, creeping forward, rolls it down to the right to find Gross. Relatively quiet in the last 15 minutes, but Webster's steaming on forward, gets in the cross, took a deflection, out for a corner.
Again, good play again from Webster. He's had another good game. There's, like I said, Johnny, the 7 or 8 of your team having very good games, you're going to win the game.
Yeah.
And that's what's happened tonight.
Difficult choice for your man of the match. Jakob Modder is going to come on in a short while.
I think Lallana will be coming off.
Yeah, some extra legs potentially for the final 12 or so minutes of normal time in the second half. Here's the corner, Gross to take it, sends it high. Another big leap by Duffy, cleared away there by Cleverley. Not far though, bouncing up into that box. Chance from McAllister, flicks it forward towards Duffy. Now it's slid across to Gross. Gross shifts it onto his left, draws it low, saved at the near post, dinked across the face of goal, but no one's there to tuck it home. McAllister it was who manages to just flick it across goal. No one there, unfortunately, to apply the finish and give Albion the third goal.
Bread and butter, Johnny, for tappings from the striker there. No, he didn't anticipate it, did he, Aaron Conley? The lovely dink back. Again, another player who's played very well today, McAllister.
Yeah, very much so. Here's Hernandez down the other end. They've broken quickly, got to the left side of the Albion box. Lofted in, headed away there by Lewis Dunk. Very open now. But yeah, it was clever play by McAllister. There's no way he was going to get it in. Fired into the box. Looked like a little shove there on Lewis Dunk. And Troy Deeney it was into the arch of the back of the Albion skipper, and it'll be a free kick. Here comes the final change for the Albion. Jakob Modder it is who's replacing Adam Lallana.
Very good game, Johnny. I like control the game, hasn't he, first half? Gets it, gives it, moves. Gets it, gives it, moves. Just makes the game simple. When he has to drive forward, he drives forward. He's got great skill when the ball comes into him. He knows what's around him. And he's got the skill to get out of trouble.
He was talking this week about how happy he is at the seaside. He still lives in Bournemouth, but...
Put your feet up, Adam.
Yeah.
See you Wednesday.
How would you have liked that, Warren?
Oh.
See you Wednesday. No one would have seen you until Wednesday, that's for sure. That's part of the problem.
That's why I got divorced. But yeah,
no one knew where you were.
Was it a 48 vendor?
He'll be walking these dogs along Bournemouth
Correct.
Beach, I'm sure.
Doing all the right things, Johnny.
Yeah, Sanchez gets it forward there. It's a free kick for Watford. 10 minutes left then. Albion still 2-0 up in this second half here on BBC Sussex Sport. You can text us, don't forget, 81333, start your message with the word radio, or you can tweet us at BBC Sussex Sport if you want to get involved in the final half hour as we go and get reaction from Graham Potter and the Seagulls camp. And then, of course, Tuesday night, a trip to Cardiff. We're live from 7:30, do join us then.
The bridge is free now, Johnny, isn't it?
Yeah, we get some money back, won't we? Let's hope they can come back with a victory and go into the third round. Of course, spinning out of play, and it'll be a Watford throw on the left-hand side. Well, I mentioned that they never lost to Watford in the Premier League, and that could continue if they can maintain this 2-goal advantage in the final 10 minutes or so. As I say, they would go 6 games unbeaten here at the Amex. Basuma coming across.
That's equal the record, hasn't it, Johnny?
Yeah.
So next week at home, they're going for the record.
Yeah.
And it brings confidence, these results, John.
Absolutely.
JC.
Yeah, absolutely. Ball to the edge of the box, cleared by Dunk, only as far as Cleverly. He uses width, out to Sarr. Sarr launches in, comes off the back of Solly March. Out comes the keeper, but he doesn't get there. It sort of falls kindly in the end to Modder. Modder plays it up there to Connolly, who tries to spin his man. We need to hold it onto it in that kind of position, but is Solly March in with a strong challenge. Ripple of applause around the Amex. They appreciated that one. Added that to his game, certainly.
Yeah, Alan Connolly has to be a little bit better. Don't let your centre-back get in front of you there. It's okay going the other way, but once you need to protect the ball.
Next Premier League opponents, as you were saying, is Everton, as Deeney peels away from his man, heads it back. Good block by Shane Duffy there as the strike comes in. And Wepo tries to head it clear, cleverly cushioning it to the edge of the D. Wepo in there again, using good energy to try and break free from the grapple of the Watford players around the edge of the box. But visitors have it again. Little layoff there. Hernandez, stopped by McAllister, who's done really good work foraging away in that midfield area. Long crossfield ball. Across comes Solly March, makes the header. Sarr keeps it in play. Another good positive bit of play by Solly March. March and McAllister have got to be up there. All the M's. Mopé with the goal, perhaps. And Watford have it now. Midway through the Albion half. Left side. Roll on the ground back there to Adam Messina, the left back. He's got white tape around his wrists. Back to the centre-back Cabaselli, now on to Iko. Now to the right side and Cleverly playing wide. Back in field. Sarr looking for a pass. Into Deeney, who tries to spin it around his body, but it goes out for a goal kick. Yeah, Everton in a 3 o'clock kickoff at the Amex next Saturday. All the build-up, of course, from 2. They let a lead slip today against Leeds, didn't they? Finished up 2-2.
Yeah,
29,485, the confirmed attendance for the first home game of the season. Few people on their holes. I'm sure as we progress through the season we'll have a record attendance, because there have been additional seats put in here at the Amex. And no segregation in this game, that's for sure. Didn't quite take their full allocation, Watford. And here's Mwepu trying to make an impact from the bench. Still going. Fended off, he thought he was fouled. No, says referee Anthony Taylor, who's let things run most of the game. Here's Sarr running past Modder to the edge of the D. Chance for Cleverly, gets the shot away. Another brilliant block by Shane Duffy, who's there. Falls back again, swung in by Dennis. Glancing header comes off the head of Deeney and goes behind for a goal kick.
Good defending, John. You can see that they want a clean sheet, don't they? The back 5, goalkeeper, they want a clean sheet. And
that man Duffy again. Man of the match. We'll see whether you agree with it.
No, I'm not going for Shane Duffy, Johnny. I'm going for Solly March.
Yeah,
my man of the match. All the hype was about Sarr before the game started, about how he's done. And I think Solly March has done very well against him, defensive-wise, and pushing him back in the final third. I think he's gone into tackles, won tackles, headers. I thought it was a complete game today, one of his best.
I think quite an emotional decision though, because I think the Albion fans here at the ground will be so pleased for Shane Duffy. I think actually Alexis McAllister's run them both pretty close, to be honest. He's on the ball now, still going. Lovely little slip pass there, he had the advantage, but he kept going. Now Basuma, he checks, could he get the shot away? No, took it too far, a little bit greedy. Strong challenge by Mwepu in from behind, and that's the yellow card. Maybe a little harsh. I think he took a little bit of the ball, but a little bit of the man.
Yeah, he took the man, he come from behind, Johnny, but again, our undoing, Johnny, because Basuma just gives the ball simple to Modder, doesn't he?
Well, there's still another 4 minutes, plus anything that the fourth official adds on at the end of the game. Where is it? What's happened here? There was a throw, and Anthony Taylor pulling it back. What's a free kick? Yeah.
Solly March is just...
not afters or anything really. It's been played in relatively good spirits as Deeney challenges with Shane Duffy. And actually Shane Duffy loves those sorts of challenges. He's played against Troy Deeney before, the Burnley challenge. Of course he's going to have Dominic Calvert-Lewin. I've seen Everton are swinging balls into the box like no one's business at the moment, so he'll probably relish that.
Yeah, of course he will. And playing against his old club.
Yes, very much so. Forward by Sanchez, hoisting it high. A little misjudgment there by the defender. Modder trying to get his body in the way, comes off his chest, goes backwards. Connolly tries to get back in there, but the defender hooks it across goal, and then Messina nods it back to the keeper, Bachmann. He had that one opportunity, Aaron Connolly. It's probably the only opportunity, to be fair, that he and the Albion have had, really, apart from that dink from McAllister across the face of goal, and there was no one there. He's cleverly powering the ball forward, trying to find King. And if King and Deeney get understanding, that could be an impressive forward line. We've got so many forwards on the pitch at the moment. And here's Litong. He shoots from distance, blocked by Duffy. Into the chest of Connolly. Wins the free kick. Held on to it well, just chested it off. He actually got away from him the ball, but he invited in the challenge and wins the free kick. Just exactly what you want with 2.5 minutes of normal time remaining.
Yeah, he's done well there, Connolly. The initial first touch was brilliant, wasn't it? Shielded the ball. He tries to get away with the ball, and he's overrun it, hasn't he? I think he's gone down to win as a free kick. Look, like I say, vital time now. Wasted. That's good. Yeah. Good play from Alan Connolly.
Certainly is. The voice of Warren Aspinall with us, and he's with us right through till 8 o'clock. So you can text or tweet. You've got some questions about this performance, the form of the side, or maybe even the transfer window. Get in touch if you would like. March with the throw then, midway through the Watford half on the left side. He's taking his time, just wiping the ball on his blue and white jersey. Modder down the line if he wants him, but instead he goes towards Connolly. He does bring it down on his chest. Good close control initially. Lays it off for the Polish international. Looked like the ball went out of play. And it did, so it will be a Watford throw. So, as you say, a lot of the talk was about Sarr. But really, it's been about the Albion, and that first 20 minutes for me was key.
Yes.
Positive start. Here's Mwepu. Midway through the Watford half, just toe pokes it off to McAllister, who gives it back to him. Mwepu with a chance to shoot. Just wide. Always slicing away from goal, unfortunately. Good interplay between the Zambian international in front of the home fans for the first time in the Premier League. He felt it should have been a goal kick, but actually it's a corner, but he did well to get his foot in.
Yes.
And they've got to keep defending. They don't want to concede one late. They want that clean sheet. Cleverly to take the corner. Floats it in towards the back post. It's missed there by Sanchez. I think maybe just got a little claw on it. And Gross it is who volleys it clear. Off goes Connolly. Holding it up. Draw it down, invites in the challenge from Messina. And that'll be a free kick. Gets a pat on the back. 3 minutes to be added on. For me, it's about he needs to know when to hold it up and when to go in behind. And that will come probably with experience.
Yeah, it will. Well, there's another free kick. The clock's ticking.
Yeah,
it's all good, Johnny. It's just game management, isn't it?
I'd really like to see them pick up a clean sheet here. I think is that Solly March for delaying the free kick?
Yeah.
Don't often see that time wasting, getting a booking like that. Here he is, he's going to take the free kick and he's going to chip it towards the corner flag. Comes off the top of the defender. Corner for the Albion.
Take that.
I'm not too worried about Solly March maybe picking up yellow cards. A bit more worried about Webster and Duffy, who've picked up yellow cards, because I know Dan Byrne is to return, so is Joel Veltman. We don't want to pick up too many needless cautions in the early stages of the season.
No, but I think Duffy's one was definitely, he needed to do it, Johnny, because there was after, so he's taking one for the team there probably as well.
Corner left side. Gross has come across to join Solly March. And they've taken it short. March now scoops it up, rolls it back there to Bissouma, plays it into Gross, left side of the area, left-footed, dinks it back post. In there goes Duffy, can't get to the first ball, headed away. Round the back comes Jakub Moder, taking it wide to the right corner flag now. He then goes down and he's hurt himself in the process. He's got just a stab on the ankle there, as it might have been Josh King who was coming in a little bit late.
Just trampled all over him, didn't he?
Yeah.
I know he was chasing at full pelt, Johnny, but again, more time wasted. It's like I say, sometimes you need this game. It's not good for us, not a good watch. Stop, start. But
yeah, I don't think anyone really cares, to be honest. I think so many times actually Albion probably haven't necessarily managed games quite as well as they could have done, but they're learning. Graham Potter's learning. Here's McAllister, lays it down the line to Gross. Gross trying to put pressure on the defender. Hooked clear by Hernandez. Duffy getting it infield. Mudder tries to get the flick onto Connolly. He can't quite get there. Cleverly tidying up for Watford as they look to progress up the pitch, but time is running out for them. And it looks like it's going to be back-to-back wins for the Seagulls. Messina in possession, the left back. Forward to the middle, Atebo. Back to the defence. They've pretty much accepted that they're not going to win it. Could they get a late goal here as they pump the ball across the pitch to the left-hand side? Can Albion hold on to the clean sheet in the final stages? Good defensive tackle there. Yes, they can, is the answer. Full time at the Amex in the opening home game of the Premier League season. Brighton and Hove Albion 2, Watford 0, and the Seagulls with victories in their first 2 Premier League games for the first time. Comfortable really in the end. The 2 goals coming in the first half from Shane Duffy, from Neil Mopay, who was later replaced by Aaron Connolly, but a fully deserved 3 points. And Albion, at this stage of the weekend, head to second in the table.
Well, you're only as good as the last game, Johnny, and that's just finished. Great result, 2-0. That's what you want, a clean sheet. Scored a couple of, your striker scored again, full of confidence. Yes, we don't know what the injury situation is for him, but it's a good all-round, especially first half, a good all-round performance. Second half, stop-start, substitutions going on, but with game management, we did very well. Wasted time when we needed to waste time, but all round, some very good individual displays, and collectively a good display.
You said at the beginning, when you looked at these games on paper, you wanted at least 9 points in the early stages. You felt it was possible, and they've delivered so far.
Well, yes, and I asked this beginning of the season, Johnny, that we need to beat teams who I think will be in and around us or below us, and I think the 2 games we've played, Burnley and Watford, they'll be in and around us, and we've taken 6 points. Last season we didn't do that. This season we've started off like a house on fire, and we have to keep the momentum going. We're going to go into next Saturday full of confidence, so it's going to be a good game. They've just got a point at Leeds, so it's going to be a good game.
Any special performances for you out there today?
I thought Solly March was excellent. I thought Webster and Duffy had another good game. McAllister full of energy. Bissouma puts his foot in, wins play back for us. McAllister's learning to do that, he did that as well. Adam Lallana gives it simple, keeps the game ticking. So there, I've just named 7, Johnny, who've had very good games. And if you can do that week in, week out, you won't be far away getting the maximum points every game.
In terms of options, he's just got so many, and he's got those technical players playing so well. McAllister having another good game. Lallana hit the ground running again in his first start of the season, so he's got lots of options going into that Everton game, and the majority will be given a rest on Tuesday night, but maybe a few of them might be required.
Yeah, and just looking at the centre-back situation against...
Feltman might be available to give him some time.
On the bench there, we've got Tyler Roberts.
Aidan Roberts, yeah.
Aidan Roberts.
Tyler Richards as well, I'm sure will come in the midfield.
So all the substitutes will be playing on Tuesday night. So maybe a couple of experienced pros on the bench if the game's not going very too well or whatever.
What about Shane Duffy on the score sheet today, Warren, after his, quote, immense performance last weekend? his future. It's funny how things in football can change so quickly.
Well, to further, that's what he needed today, probably, a goal. It's a great timing of the header. It's an header no goalkeeper would stop. And he's full of confidence after that. If he mistimes it and he goes over his head and he's thinking, oh, another mistimed header. So I thought, yes, again, good performance, puts his foot in, puts his head in. Nobody got him in beyond him. He likes these battles. He's going to come up against different opposition when people want to run down the sides of him, and that's when he might get found out. But today, again, the challenge was there. Through Deeney on, they threw King on. He relishes them challenges.
In terms of any causes for concern, second half Albion were opened up on a couple of occasions, weren't they? How much of a concern is that, maybe up against maybe sterner opposition?
Oh yeah, we didn't come out the blocks in the second half, did we? And better teams may punish you, because they got in good areas of the pitch, got a couple of chances, but it wasn't to be done. They didn't take them, so we get let off. But that could be a warning. The manager think, hang on a minute, lads. Yes, we won 2-0. We grew into it second half, but the first 5-10 minutes second half, it wasn't good enough. But they're going to get that. They've probably had a going over at half time. They've come out full of energy, played a bit higher tempo, changed the system a little bit, tweaked it, and came at us. They didn't score in them 10 minutes. Then we grew into the game, and then we came out deservedly winners.
Okay, well, if you've got a question for Warren over the next 25 minutes or so, get them in. 81333. Start your message with the word radio. Tweet us at BBC Sussex Sport if you want to join the conversation and you want to react to that victory this afternoon against Watford. The Seagulls winning by 2-0 here at the Amex. Maybe you got some questions as well about the transfer